welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jarrell here.
And I am Josh, and today we have an awesome Walking Dead theory. Will Alpha get her major comic book storyline?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Will Alpha receive the same major storyline as she did in the comics? Has the Walking Dead TV show revealed Alpha's biggest weakness? The Walking Dead TV show has never been against changing events from the comic books, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, if you do not want to be spoiled on future events that could happen in the show based upon the comic books, if you are a reader that has not caught up on the comics yet, please stop here, come back to us later to listen to this awesome video and theory.
Yeah, guys, so in the comic books, Alpha is killed prior to the events leading up to the Whisperer War by Negan. So right now, we potentially have 3 candidates for the death of Alpha. We have Negan, Lydia, and Carol. We'll explain each one and why they should or should not be a potential candidate.
Alright, so let's go into Negan, why Negan kills Alpha in the comics. In the Walking Dead comics, it's Negan who eventually kills Alpha, but the TV show hasn't set up the same circumstances which led to Negan killing Alpha in the comics. In the Walking Dead comics, Negan escapes his imprisonment at Alexandria and seeks out the Whisperers. At first, Negan joins up with the Whisperers, thinking he can turn them against Alpha, assume leadership, and then use them to get his revenge on Rick. It doesn't take long, however, for Negan to realize this isn't the case, and the more he learns about the Whisperers, the more he's repulsed. Negan becomes very disgusted by Alpha's refusal to intervene in an attempted rape of a young woman by other Whisperers, with her believing what to do so only fosters weakness. Negan stops the assault himself, but this leads to a huge argument, and upon learning that Alpha has even allowed her own daughter to be raped, Negan slits Alpha's throat and decapitates her.
Done.
Negan brings Alpha's head back to Rick as a way to earn his trust, and it's only after this that Negan is slowly granted more and more privileges in Alexandria, even fighting alongside them in the Whisperer War, which begins after Alpha's death and is led by Beta. Negan's arc with the Whisperers is driven by his thoughts of Rick, first in revenge and then in forgiveness. AMC could recreate this scenario, but it seems unlikely since Negan has already experienced the transformation and the residents of Alexandria have begun to trust him.
Yeah, so Negan, I don't feel that we could get Negan's comic book storyline in the show since the majority of his storyline has already been completed. You know, he tried to break out, he brought himself back in. And even though that he could have broken out during episode 3 from Aaron, I just don't think that he has any motivation to go to the Whisperers because he knows what is coming and he wants to stay far away from it as he can because he doesn't want people to not trust him any longer. So I personally don't think that we're going to get Negan's story in the show.
And you don't have that Rick element anymore.
Yes.
You know, one of the biggest purposes of Negan cutting off Alpha's head in the comics was to impress Rick. He develops a really good relationship with Rick. Maybe Rick doesn't reciprocate that as well, but he looks up to Rick in the comics in a way, and you don't have that element anymore in the show.
Yeah. So I believe that we have found Alpha's biggest weakness, and that is Lydia. So Alpha broke her own rule when she went back to get Lydia at Hilltop. She's lied to Beta and the other Whisperers about killing Lydia. And during episode 2, Alpha comforts that Whisperer mother instead of killing her because she's sympathizing with the pain of losing a child and hinting that any compassion is a weakness for Alpha. So by not killing that mother, she tried to almost replace Lydia with her. Beta picked up on that, and he kind of said to her, no matter what you do to try to get Lydia back or even try to bring someone in, maybe the mother or even Gamma, she's not coming back at all, ever. So the big prediction here is we believe that Lydia could kill Alpha. She could be a candidate here. So Lydia is a very strong candidate to kill Alpha because as her daughter, Lydia is Alpha's one weakness. If anyone would be able to catch Alpha off guard, it's Lydia. Many people are in line to kill Alpha, but Lydia could be the best option to mirror Negan's comic storyline. Lydia is a victim of her mother's abuse, both verbally and physically. We see this both in how Lydia's childhood memories are twisted by Alpha, and in what actually happened once Lydia begins to remember things correctly. Lydia killing Alpha makes sense as an act of revenge for the death of her father and years of abuse, while perfectly mirroring Negan killing Alpha did in the comics to gain trust of the other survivors, because right now many in Alexandria and other communities still do not trust Lydia. So by killing her mother can prove she has given up that way of life. It'll be tough for Lydia to do, but will allow herself to be free of that painful past. Lydia seems to be the only one who could get close enough to Alpha to do that deed. I think it could be Lydia, really, because her storyline has kind of taken on Negan's from the comics.
I think that Lydia is the strongest candidate to kill Alpha at this point, because everything there said beautifully. Like, she is the only one that can get close to Alpha enough to be able to do that. And she is Alpha's weakness. I mean, we saw that in episode 2 in the flashback.
Huge.
In the flashback, when she says, "I'm so happy that you are the..." She could easily go back to Alpha and say, "I've changed my mind. I want to go back to your whisper ways, Alpha." Calling her Alpha, and then getting close enough to her to actually cause some harm.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about episode 2 is in the past she was wanting to protect Lydia. She never wanted Lydia to leave her side. In the present, she's wanting to get that back. You know, she's holding on to Lydia's bunny still. Even though she tells Beta that Lydia has gone to her, that she was never her, she still has that weakness, and Beta knows it. Will that come back to bite her in the butt?
She has that motherly instinct.
Yes.
And that has not left her. She's almost she said that to Beta almost in a way, by allowing that other whisperer to survive because of what she's going through. She sent a message to Beta that I still have those same feelings for my daughter.
And to the rest of the group by leaving her alive as well. So as one final candidate for killing Alpha, it's a low percentage, but it could be Carol.
Absolutely. Currently, Carol is filled with rage and revenge, guys, obviously, as you know, for the death of her son, Henry. In the recent episode 3 of season 10, Carol is dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, hallucinations, plus sleep deprivation. Her actions are becoming reckless by only thinking of herself and not the welfare of her group. The problem that I have with Carol is she would never be able to get that close to Alpha. And if she does, Alpha's going to be highly guarded. She's already taken her shot at Alpha and missed.
Yeah, she missed her shot. We believe that Alpha did send that rogue whisperer out into the woods to lure Carol away, and Carol was in a trap that she got out of, but I think that was done by Alpha. So unless it's during a battle that Alpha is in, would be the only time she would be able to get close. But of course, she would have to find her through the mass amounts of whisperers and walkers.
But boy, wouldn't that be something, man.
That would be.
We didn't get to see Alpha fight in the war, obviously, because she didn't make it that far. She was killed before Whisperer War. Matter of fact, her death sparked the Whisperer War.
Yes.
So again, that would be amazing to see her if she makes it. I personally do not want to see Alpha die.
I don't either.
Mainly because of Samantha Morton and the job that she's doing portraying Alpha. It's just amazing.
It's amazing, but I don't want to see it, but I also, I kind of want them to stick to the comics a little bit. To kind of bring more out with Beta. But they could change it. Like we've said, they've changed things many times. So it just depends how long they want to push the Whisperers with this group. How long? Do you want it for this whole season and next season? However long the Walking Dead main show has left, what do they want to do? So if they stick to the comic books, I think they should go with Lydia. I think Lydia would be the best choice, kind of already taking on Negan's part of the story with people not trusting her and wanting to gain her trust and rid herself from her mother and kill her. Because her story is completely different in the comics. I mean, she did fight with the Whisperer in the Whisperer War with Carl and everyone else, but I think her character in the show is developing a little bit better than it did in the comics.
Yeah,
to me.
absolutely. I'm gonna go with Lydia as well, ladies and gentlemen. I just think that it fits perfectly now. We will see in episode 3, as we've seen in the small trailer and the couple of shots, that she is conflicted right now because everyone
Episode 4.
The next episode 4. Sorry, does not believe her, does not trust her, and the Silence the Whisperers is written on her doorstep. I'm going to predict that. I think that's true.
I think that was her. Yeah, that was her.
She's being taunted while she's sitting down in the commons area, and at this point, she wants to live in this community. So the only way to do that is to.
She has to show
that she's one of them.
Right. She has to rid herself from that life and show people that I'm not with them anymore.
Yeah, and plus, don't forget, this woman killed her father. So the revenge is certainly there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people waiting in line to kill Alpha. You know, everyone in Alexandria, Hilltop.
But she's got
everyone.
She's got the #1 ticket to do so.
Yeah, she definitely does. So let us know your thoughts of who might potentially take Alpha's comic book role and storyline and possibly kill Alpha maybe in this season, or it may have to wait till next season. So let us know in the comments, guys. Leave your thoughts. Leave the video a quick like. Feel free to subscribe if you're new. And stay tuned for more Walking Dead news, plus many more here. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.